Okay, we are the group number three, the IC3. We are Alberto Marun and Oscar Cubeles, and we will talk about the fake news, the phenomenon. This is a topic that is happening these days. Probably is one of the most topics that we can choose these days. Why? Because in this situation that we have the coronavirus, this is they are in the media, in the social media, a lot of information, and this information, probably sometimes it is real, other times it's not real, and we need to verify that it is real or not. Okay, if we start to talk about the phenomenon of the fake news, we need to define it. Define it. To define it, we can say that the Cambridge English Dictionary defines a fake news as, and I quote, a false story that appeared to be news, spread on the internet or using another type of media, and usually created to influences the politic views, as a joke or the panic in the society. Okay, going with this definition, we can see as an example what is happening with the COVID-19 right now. With the COVID-19, there are a lot of news like what the people will do, the enterprise will go to ERTE, everyone's will be in the bankrupt. I don't know what will happen with the university. That okay, the university decide to don't use the platform. No, they will do the exams by internet. They don't do exams. It is a collapse, right? Literally, and these fake news have as our origin the in 2016, when a BuzzFeed's media editor, Craig Silverman, noticed that in the Eastern Europe town in Macedonia, specifically in the city of Veles, he gathered with some college and investigating, seeing, they saw 140 fake news websites that they have a lot of visits, and they are from Facebook, like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Gmail, television. They can be a multiply. They can have a multiply version of fake news. Something that is important to concept to link with this concept, when you are saying that probably will happen, I don't know, like they are finding they already find the vacuum for the COVID-19, in the that is the title. And when you develop the notice, and some Germany laboratory is trying to find the COVID-19, it is like a fake news, because you put in the top to call the attention of the users that you already have an vacuum, and that is not. When you put something that it is not true, that automatically will be a fake news, or you are getting like a hype or something in the society that it is not real. Okay, going about with what is the objective and who is behind a fake news, starting with what is the objective, it is difficult to confirm which is the main objective of the fake news. But in general, they try to discredit a target, and the modus operandi that it is how they do this, is create a fake news, something that is not real, that is not true, that can be controversial, and the moment they try to be relevant, probably will not be relevant to all the world in some cases, but it is relevant to to the subject that they are trying to to make a conflict. um the important thing it is like, okay, you put, I am trying to explain the modus operandi, and when they put this fake news, they want that the people cannot confirm that that is real or that is false. That is too much important for them, because if the people can confirm, okay, that is not true, okay, they will skip that notice and go away. But for example, I don't know, but if the Queen of England, the Queen Elizabeth, that doesn't appear to the public in, I don't know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they will say like, hey, the Queen Elizabeth is dead, something like this. And probably to the population will be, hey, the Queen is dead and they didn't tell us, I don't know. A real example, and not trying to make examples and instead of that, using real examples, is the death of the ex-president of Venezuela, Hugo Chavez. The people until this day said like, okay, he dies from December, and the government says that he death, if I don't remember bad, the 5th of March. That is probably a really fake news, because we cannot confirm, but we cannot confirm that it is true, and we cannot confirm that it's false. And that is the objective, to make a, I don't know, a disaster and disinformation and in the society. Okay, if we start to talk about what is the difference between disinformation and misinformation. Okay, misinformation, we can define it like the false information that is spread regardless of whether there is instead to mislead. Basically, we can call the misinformation like when you receive information for another one, like I don't know, the exams will be in September, and that is not confirmed, and you start, hey Stepan, hey Ricardo, hey Lisa, the university is saying that the exams will be in September, and you are like, okay, that is who says this to you? And you says, no, a partner. Okay, that is not the real way to inform you. You can confirm that? No. Okay, that is misinformation. You are talking about something that you cannot confirm. That disinformation is defined as a deliberately misleading or biased information, manipulated narrative, or facts like propaganda. This happens a lot of time when someone's in probably a bigger speaker says something, and in the speech they have a lot of information. Media try only to focus in a little words that can be manipulated to make a change of what they are trying to say. I don't know to put an example of this information, but that happens a lot of time. The previously example that I told to you, like we found a vacuum for the laboratory in Germany is find a vacuum for the COVID-19, and when you develop the notice, or you see like, okay, they don't really find it right now, they are trying to find, and that is that can be disinformation. One example of misinformation can be when you receive an audio, an image from a WhatsApp group. Um, they they share it because they receive it. They don't confirm and then share it. That I can like can be both examples really good to this kind of to define what is misinformation, what is disinformation. Okay, this affects the society in really in a bad way always. This can be the greatest information ever that you receive and can be the worst information that you can receive, but in both ways they always the conclusion will be like the you will have a fake state because you are you are trusting in something that it is not real, and the impact always be negative at the finish. Why? Because if you have the greatest notice, I don't know, putting a soccer, of for example, okay, the Football Club Barcelona will sign Neymar for the next season. You are a fanatic of the Football Club Barcelona and you are a fanatic of Neymar. Um, you will be happy, you will tell to your friends, and when you see that the information is not true, probably with your friends you will be like, hey bro, you lied to me, you was saying that this is real and this is not. You will lose credibility, and basing on rumors is the worst thing ever. Like, it is the worst thing that that can happen. um if you receive a bad notice, that will be in my in that will be worst. Why? Because I don't know, you see a notice that that I don't know, the government will take a 15-day of quarantine, and that will not be real anytime. That is not what happened right now. We are all in our houses, and that is the reason that we do this in this way. But if this happens, you go to the supermarket, you buy everything. They tell you, no, this is fake news. You will not be in quarantine, and you spend your all your money in that. Probably you will be frustrated because you spend all of your money in buying the things to stay at home, and you will not need it.
Some tips we can give you to spot fake news are: firstly, make sure you're getting information from a reliable source, or from a source that has a long trajectory, so it won't lie. Also, another tip is to check the facts that seem suspicious from the new, or just the facts that don't go according to the context. Also, another good tip is to avoid getting information from social media, because it's better to spend some more time entering in a specific new portal, um, or watching the news on television, rather than getting information from social media, because most of the time they are not handled by journalists. Technology is advancing every day, so every day we're getting closer to a solution to spot fake news and detect them through technology. And this solution is by creating new algorithms that will spot them. A research published by the magazine Science established that even though most fake news are created by artificial intelligence, um, the artificial intelligence can also help fighting fake news through spam filters. This is based on the fact that true information comes from first-hand sources, and those sources basically are journalists that are present in the development of certain news. And the artificial intelligence can identify when an article has certain characteristics that prove that they have been handwritten by a journalist rather than by a spam content generator. However, these filters do not work always. So, regarding the future of fake news, methods like the one I previously explained can help erasing fake news in our future. But despite fake news is advancing every day, and it will help spotting fake news in the future we will live in a society that we will be able to gather information everywhere, and spotting fake news will be even more difficult. So in future, what people will have to do is to get used to contrast information from different sources, unreliable sources, to get true information, because there will it will be very difficult to find an algorithm that will erase all fake news. Now we can conclude that fake news is a matter that greatly affects our society, and is in our hands stopping the spread of fake news and unverified information to avoid misinformation among our society, and put an end to all the rumors that spark actions based on biased information. The reach of fake news is very big, and if we don't put an end to it, it can bring very big consequences to our societies.